What's up with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We back with another reaction video today. Got another Jxmyhighroller video. Welcome to the NBA. This shit real interesting, bro. We watched the last one about being told. That hoe was pretty cool. I really like that video. Let's see what he's talking about right here. Remember, with that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. But let's get it, boy. Yo, this shit right here was hilarious, nigga. I watched this shit live. I was like, damn, how this nigga got a ring and this legendary ass nigga don't got one, this legendary nigga don't got one, this legendary nigga don't got one. That's crazy. And mind you, they have better careers than this nigga. But getting a ring is all about circumstance and luck. Like, for real. No cap. What the fuck is this? Yeah, that's actually fucking disgusting. These niggas are stripping, bro. And Ben Simmons, you know how, bro. I don't fuck with this nigga, bro. He's so fucking ass for no reason. I don't like that shit, bro.
He looks like Katie and Shaq mixed together, my dog. That's how I know you ain't watching the game. You're not watching the games, Pete.
That's how I know you ain't watching the game.
I'm not watching the games. I don't watch full sports games. I want my flight shit. I watch a highlight reel, but unless it's like the fucking even the finals. Even when it's like the finals, I don't watch the full games. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not gonna sit here and watch a full NBA game. I got a fucking life. I got shit I like to actually do, nigga. The fuck? Watching people play basketball is actually so fucking boring. Like, that shit only fun when you're the one playing it. Sit here, bro.
My brothers, it's a new NBA season, and you know what that means. New faces.
I will say though, man, no cap, them niggas was hooping. VJ Edgecombe hooping. The OKC Thunder hooping. The Rockets hooping. Them niggas is hooping, bro. Shit was crazy, man. I won't lie.
New contenders, and a new batch of some of the most appalling takes you've ever seen in your life. And today, we're gonna take a look at some of these takes. The good, the bad, and the downright atrocious. Today's video is sponsored by
Hey, make sure I go fuck with that. Yeah.
Self to ruin a good NBA 10 for 10% off any tickets only on SeatGeek. With the new NBA season starting off this week, I took it upon myself to ruin a good NBA tip-off by rummaging through NBA social media for the hottest takes I could find. An endeavor that took me to some dark places, but a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I found some good ones, and I found some other ones. And among these hot takes, here are some of the more interesting ones I came across. Starting with this fan who says Victor Wembanyama will not only win Defensive Player of the Year this season, he will win it for the next 7 seasons in a row. And as crazy as this sounds,
7 seasons is too much. I'll give him 5. I'll give him 5.
I feel like it's not even out of the realm of possibility. At the moment, Victor's preseason odds for Defensive Player of the Year are -175. The kid is favored over the rest of the NBA, and looking at his progression and his numbers from last season, it's clear why he's the heavy favorite. Here are the players with the highest stocks per game over the last decade. That's of course steals and blocks combined. And for even
I was just finna say, what the fuck are stocks? Nigga, is this finance? What the fuck going on, bro?
Even the biggest stat stuffers, averaging 3 stocks a game is a number that will earn you a DPOY, if not, at the least, get you in contention. The players who achieve this mark are usually defensively versatile big men, and the largest total over the last decade belonging to Hassan Whiteside in 2016, with 4.2 stocks per game. Until Wemby blew that and every other total out of the water, with 4.8 stocks per game. Oh wait, those were his stocks as a rookie. Here's his number from last season. But stocks, although enough to
Man, that nigga got better by like 0.1%. That's fine.
persuade some voters, aren't necessarily
Sports is so funny because like it's one of the only places where being just 1% better than your opponent gives you so much of a lead. Like especially when like in other sports like track and shit, if you are 1 second faster than your opponent, you are damn near the fastest man on the planet every single time.
great measure of a player's defensive impact. What are good measures, however, are metrics like crafted defensive plus
Nigga, I'm talking about tracking them, and this is a basketball video. I need to lock the fuck in, bro. On me.
minus, and on-off splits. How big of an impact are you making on defense, and how does your team perform when you're on the court versus off the court? And here is every player in the league last season who logged at least 1,000 minutes charted according to those two metrics. This group here in the top right corner are the players that thrived in both of those defensive metrics. Draymond Green, Rudy Gobert, Alex Caruso, and of course,
I don't fuck with Draymond Green. Like, I think that nigga is so ass to me. Like, honestly, I think he sucks ass. But that's clearly a lie, because defensively he's really good, and he's a really good player with rings, but, like, still, like, I don't respect it, bro. I don't know. Just something about his game I don't respect.
Victor Wembanyama, the best defensive player in the league in just his second season. But in the future, Wemby will be competing against his peers, the players his age. After all, the kid is only 21 years old. So if we limit this chart to players no older than 25, well, yeah. Of course, winning the award once and winning it 7 times in a row are two completely different things. Even if a player deserves an award, voters' fatigue may end up being his biggest obstacle. However, Wemby's gap on the field may just be big enough to overcome this. In a recent survey, GMs across the NBA were asked who they felt was the best defensive player in the league, and to no one's surprise, it was Victor Wembanyama, winning 80% of the votes. Now, what is surprising is that in the 23 years that this survey has been conducted, no player before Wemby has ever been regarded as the best defender in the league with such an overwhelming majority. The highest Giannis ever got was 48% of the votes. The highest Ben Wallace ever got was 38%, KG 44%, Kawhi 67%, Dwight Howard, arguably the greatest defender of the 21st century, managed to get 78% of the votes after winning his third straight DPOY. And then there's Victor, entering just his 3rd season in the league. So if winning the award is just as much about convincing fans and voters of your merit as it is about the actual impact you have on the game, then you might as well ship the award to Wemby's house right now. But the one thing that could prevent him from sweeping this award for the foreseeable future is the very reason why he didn't win it last season. The kid was dealing with an injury, he missed too many games, and he was ineligible for the award, which is a very real possibility as to why he may not end up winning.
And that's why I gave that nigga 5. He's tough. Defensively and offensively, he's tough. But the nigga's like 7'8" or 7'6". Either or. The nigga tall as shit. And when you're that tall, you're injury prone. His body almost failed on him. With that blood clot, where the fuck, that thrombosis, that shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping that, his body don't fail on him too much. And if he is gonna miss games, it's only a few, not a lot. You feel me? Wishing this nigga a long, prosperous career in the league, man. You feel me?
It in future seasons. But as long as he's got 2 good knees and an 8-foot wingspan, it's hard to imagine anyone else earning the award over him for quite a while. So, as crazy as this claim looks, this is a good take. Now, this next take comes from Bill Simmons in a recent podcast he did with Zach Lowe discussing
Mr. Horseman. Nigga don't give a fuck about the league. He's off his horses. On me.
The future of Nikola Jokic's legacy if things fall in his favor this season.
Is there a star player with a bigger legacy shift brewing on a pot on the stove than Jokic this year? Because if they win the title and he wins MVP again, I think he's indisputably one of the best 10 players ever. I think that has to be the outcome. I just don't see how he's not on a top 10 list after that. He has to be.
But if he gets the second one, the names he's next to immediately, not next to 3 more years, it's next to immediately are like the holy pantheon of NBA players.
He has to be with Bird and Magic at that point.
Yeah.
He's next.
With Bird and Magic, he a better player, but greater? Oh no, bro. And for me, it's the rings. He doesn't have enough rings to justify that shit. Right? But I feel like honestly, he definitely is on their level skill wise, but greatness? I don't know, bro.
To them.
Yeah.
Now, there's a really big if going on here. If Jokic can win another title this season, which in that case would undoubtedly be paired with a Finals MVP and another regular season MVP to go along with it.
Now, regular season MVP will be fucking OD. But it's Jokic. A lot of shit he do is OD, so it is what it is.
Would that make him not just top 10 all time, but even
Yes.
I literally bring you clothes.
Huh?
I'll bring you clothes.
For who?
For both?
Nah, bro. No. Hey, just leave it outside, bro.
Creeping near top 5 territory, right up there with Bird and Magic. And to me, this is a no-brainer. But to my surprise, this was a scorching take for some fans. Many fans would still have him outside of the top 10, somewhere between 12 and 18.
I got him outside the top 10 still. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, bro. He gotta show me a little more.
Which is absolutely absurd. It's tough to make a top 10 list that's agreed upon, but there is a consensus top 12 that pretty much every fan agrees on. And it's these 12 players in no particular order. And when you compare Jokic's numbers and accomplishments,
What you mean no particular order? It's an order in this bitch. It's a real deal order in this bitch. Hello, nigga. Fuck. You know we got either LeBron or MJ is one. And then everybody else can follow. That's it, bro.
with these guys,
And I got MJ. I'm sorry. The greatness. Nigga, I'm still wearing J's to this day. I'm sorry, bro. So I got MJ, but I do recognize LeBron's greatness, though. That nigga nice.
assuming he pulls off the season Simmons described, Jokic clearly belongs in this group and even ahead of a handful of them. There's only 3 players in NBA history who have more than 4 MVPs. Only 5 players in NBA history who have more than 2 Finals MVPs. And in terms of statistical impact, Jokic's numbers are just flat out better than anyone's. He's now the all-time leader in virtually every advanced metric and increasing his lead on the field with each season. The only thing holding him back from crashing the party at this point is championships. But that is a huge if. Winning a title is the toughest thing to do in the sport. Winning an MVP in the same season, even rarer. But a historic season like this may be in the cards for Jokic in 2026. After a busy offseason, the Nuggets have now surrounded Jokic with arguably the best roster he's had in his career. They've added depth at the center spot with Valanciunas, they've bolstered their shooting with Tim Hardaway Jr., and they've upgraded their starting lineup with the addition of Cam Johnson. Moves that have made them one of the favorites to win the title this season, with better odds than they've had in any season since their title run in 2023. And in terms of an MVP, there is no player more perpetual and inevitable than Jokic. The guy always plays, his numbers are insane, and they haven't budged in a half a decade. His team looks to be better.
Jokic is the only good thing that happens in Denver, Colorado. Hey, what the fuck does Denver have, my nigga? Oh, shit.
So they're set up nicely to grab a top seed. And after averaging a 30-point triple-double last season and still coming up short in the MVP race, I wouldn't be surprised if the MVP narrative is in his favor this season, similar to what happened in 2024 after losing to Embiid in the previous season. In pretty much any other scenario, it would be comical to hint at a player having a historic season like this. But this is prime Nikola Jokic we're talking about, coming off the best individual season of his career with possibly the best roster of his career. And if he could pull it off, I agree with Bill. He would undeniably be a top 10 player of all time with the likes of Bird and Magic. This is a great take. Now, this next take comes from a fan who says Joel Embiid will go down as the biggest what if in NBA history. And although I don't agree with this,
What about the roads that grew out of concrete? What about my nigga Chris Bosh? The fuck? It wouldn't be the biggest. It would be a what if. It would be a pretty big what if, but the biggest no.
it is nice to see some Embiid appreciation every once in a while. Joel Embiid has been dragged down by injuries about as much as any superstar of the 21st century, even to the extent
Nigga just heavy as fuck. I don't know, bro. Every time he falls, it's like a mountain tumbling down. Like that shit, nigga heavy, bro.
where the word retirement was being thrown around 18 months after he won an MVP. And after recent physical evaluations, it appears that we will unfortunately never see MVP caliber Embiid again. Now, I understand why a lot of people couldn't care less about the man's game. His headache-inducing play style, the annual playoff regression, the fact that he's intentionally ducked Jokic on numerous occasions. There's always something going on with Embiid. But I could recognize these faults and still see that the guy is one of the most dominant forces of his generation. This is a player who averaged 32 and 11 a night for a 4-season stretch, averaged more points than minutes for an entire season. The only player to do this since Wilt Chamberlain. Less than 2 years ago, Embiid had a 23-game stretch where he averaged 40 points a game on 69% true shooting. 40 a game. A stretch that included a 40-piece on Jokic, a 50-piece on Gobert, and a 70-point, 18-rebound bomb on Wemby. When the man is healthy, he is legitimately...
He is actually unstoppable when he's healthy. When he's healthy, but my nigga's knees are just cursed, man. I don't fucking know, bruh.
unguardable. He's also one of the few offensive juggernauts that not only has the capacity to anchor a defense, but is willing to do it. Two-way impact, statistically on par with Jokic for consecutive seasons. Somewhere buried under all that foul baiting, showboating, and grifting is a player who could dominate the game without doing any of that.
No, wait, hold on. We don't have to stop the showboating. Let my nigga do his thing, bro. Hey, okay, the foul baiting, maybe, I guess. I don't really give a fuck. I ain't gonna lie. If you are the offensive player and if you're the defensive player and you're like playing defense and you're not disciplined enough to not make him foul bait you, that's not his fucking fault to me. If I was in the league, I'm cheating. Oh, I'm cheating so much. If I was in the league, these niggas would hate me. I'm foul baiting every chance I get. What are you talking about? He not locked in defensively. Because if I'm playing defense, my number one goal is to not foul the nigga. I want to get a stop without fouling him. But if this nigga's not disciplined enough to not do that, it's over. And with the showboating, but let that nigga showboat, bro. Let it be fun. Y'all niggas don't want to have fun? I want to see some funny shit, bro. On me, that's it. I want to see some funny shit and good hoops. But I guess, bro.
But with that being said, I don't think Embiid can be the biggest what if of all time for all of those reasons. We have already seen him at the peak of his powers for multiple seasons. Insane individual numbers that never culminated into any tangible success in the postseason. Whereas other big what ifs like Derrick Rose and Bill Walton were league MVPs with playoff success, but sustained career-altering injuries before they even hit their peak.
Damn! Y'all see that shit? Hold on, let's go back a little bit. That was crazy. That always, every time I see that clip, that shit looks fucking nuts. Cause like, I'm 6'5", I can dunk, but my nigga, I have never left the ground like that in my life. Look at that shit.
Whereas other big what-ifs like Derrick Rose and Bill Walton were league MVPs with playoff success, but sustained career-altering injuries before they even hit their peak.
Oh my God. Fuck, man, he was at least 4 feet off the ground off that shit. God damn.
They were proven formulas who got hurt the moment they were impacting the league. There's also the what-ifs in the form of players who had all the potential in the world, but got hurt before they could even tap into it. Greg Oden, Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, Grant Hill, reduced to a fraction of their abilities so early in their careers, all we were left wondering is what if they hadn't gotten hurt? Having a near career-ending injury just 33 games after hoisting an MVP trophy will certainly...
Just see that nigga land on his knee! His weak-ass, brittle-ass knee, and that nigga just put his 200-pound body on his knee! Ah! Damn!
Get your name thrown into some what-if conversations. But sustaining that injury at 30 is a lot different than sustaining it at 23. For the better part of a decade, we saw the extent to which Embiid could dominate games, so there really isn't much what-if left in the tank. If anything, I would put him in the "it's a shame this guy couldn't stay healthy" category, with players like Tracy McGrady, Kawhi Leonard, Yao Ming, Amari Stoudemire, all-time talents who met their potential but couldn't put it together for more than a...
Especially Kawhi, man. Kawhi nice as a motherfucker, bro. I didn't used to respect his game for real, till I learned about that nigga. He nice as hell, bro. No cap.
Season or two at a time without their bodies failing them. Joel Embiid is prolifically underappreciated as a player, but I don't think he's nearly the biggest what if in NBA history. Now, our last take comes from a fan who says the NBA is too talented, stating that the globalization of the game, the increased talent pool, and the new second apron have made teams impatient and left a lot of NBA caliber players out of a job. And although I understand the sentiment, and the NBA is certainly the most talented it's ever been, I don't think the NBA is too talented. The reason why we're now seeing so many talented, capable players miss out on roster spots is because not only has the floor for NBA talent increased drastically over the last decade, but because teams have also gotten drastically smarter over the last decade. Talent alone, for the most part, is no longer enough to keep a spot in the league. Organizations are now prioritizing things like fit and a player's role and how they can contribute and blend into a system over sheer talent and skill set. And regardless of how talented you are, unless you're a superstar, if you aren't a good fit, you won't have a place in the league. This has led to a lot of ultra-talented players completely sitting out of lineups or getting relegated to the G League or overseas, and fans asking, how is that guy not?
Bro, Cam Reddish not being in the league. Imani not being in the league. That shit kind of hurt, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. Especially Cam. I can see why Imani didn't make it, but Cam, bro, that nigga was certified, bro. Bro, Cam has the ability to be just as good as Anthony Edwards. I'm sorry. Like, come on now, nigga. That was in high school. That nigga Ant said he gave us 40. That nigga said he gave us 40. And he said that shit. He was scared when he said that shit. He was like, man, that nigga Cam gave us 40, bro. We had to sit there and eat that shit. I was like, what? Shit was crazy, man. But man, dude, my nigga Cam, bro, he had it, bro.
In the league. And the answer usually isn't that they weren't good enough. It's that they weren't a good fit. The inverse of this is also true. Players of lesser talent can end up getting roster spots.
Like, Alex Caruso is not more talented than Cam Reddish. I'm sorry. He's a better NBA player, though, because he's in the league, I guess.
These days because they may have a specific skill set that fits what a team needs and they're willing to play into that role. There used to be a time where you could say with confidence that the most talented basketball players in the world were all in the NBA. In fact, before the boom of foreign talent in an expansion league, you could argue that there was a time where the NBA had more roster spots than there were NBA caliber players. But this is no longer the case.
No longer the case. Everybody in this bitch is nice. Every NBA player. If you take the average NBA player now versus the average NBA player in the 80s, the average NBA player now is giving that nigga 50 or something. Probably 50 or 25. Like, let's take a regular nigga now. All right, we use Cam Reddish. If Cam Reddish was back in the 80s, he giving them niggas 50, bruh. God damn, he giving them niggas a mean ass 50 piece. At least once in the season. If he plays a full season, he's giving them 50 at least once. But if he plays a full season, he's probably gonna average 25 or 28 a game. Easily. Because them boys was not that solid, bro. I'm sorry.
Today, there are more players with...
You couldn't even play zone. You could only play man on Cam Reddish.
NBA talent than there are NBA jobs, and more NBA level players not in the NBA than ever.
That shit turns into the park real quick. That's gonna be like a rec game really quickly, bro. He's gonna fry that nigga. That's 1-on-1.
Before. And while the talent pool continues to grow seemingly exponentially, the number of roster spots has stayed the same. But you can still find examples today of players who are so talented. DeAndre Ayton, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, and on the upper end, Jordan.
Hey, yo, don't you ever say Ben Simmons has talent ever again. Fuck out of here. That nigga is trash. I don't give a damn. Fuck out of here. Bro, the fact that Cam Reddish doesn't have a job in the league, but Ben Simmons does, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. We don't like...
Poole, D'Angelo Russell, Zach LaVine.
D'Lo nice. Zach nice too.
That teams are more than happy to pay up and have them on their roster, regardless of if their playstyle or skill set is conducive to the system. And this approach just isn't good enough to win games in today's NBA. And I think as teams continue to get smarter, we'll see less of this and see even more talent leak out of the NBA. Recently on his podcast, Jaylen Brown had a great take on this.
There's so many talented players that are not in the NBA. NBA, I don't think, is the best talent in the world currently right now. They're taking like the utility guy.
No way, it is. The NBA still is the most talented league in the world, but it has less talent now. Don't say it's not the most. It is still the best basketball league on the planet Earth. Like if there were aliens that play basketball, bitch, we not sending the Euro League to go meet them niggas. Are you fucking crazy? I'm not sending the Greek. Some random ass Greek team from some random ass Greek league to go meet them niggas? I'm sending Steph Curry, bitch. Are you crazy? Golden State. 2016 Golden State, nigga. Fuck you talking about? They like, come on now, bro.
Draft approach. Where they just drafting guys that they know are not gonna be stars, but will be great role players to develop. So the actually most talented players.
Guys, yeah.
It's a lot of talented guys.
Because basketball is a very positional, non-positional sport. It's more about levels than it is your actual position. Because everybody on the team has to be able to dribble especially in today's league, you gotta be able to dribble, shoot, and play make. Everybody, right? And also play defense. Everybody's be able to do that shit. Everybody. But like, you still gotta have your role. We got the spot up shooter. We got the defensive nigga here. Now they all have to be able to do this shit to some level. Like the shooter gotta be able to play defense too. And the nigga that play defense, if he gets that motherfucker in the corner, he gotta be able to knock that bitch down. There's a reason why it's 3-and-D niggas now. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, bro, the NBA is just, it's now a positionless, role-oriented league. Play your role. What are you here for? To grab steals? To get buckets? To set a pick and roll? You know what I'm saying? Know your role. Know your part in the scheme. Because it's not about who can drop 50. Anybody can drop 50 on a good night, but now they worried about who can help us win games in the long run and even take it all the way there and get that ring. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing. The reason why we all play. We don't play for stats. We play for rings. And that's why championships mean a lot. It's the end goal of the season. That's why, like, every time niggas be like, but championships don't mean nothing. I'm like, they mean a lot. That's like the only reason why the league is like, the players play is to win a ring. Like, yeah, it gets real political and shit, and some people and some teams aren't really don't really care about winning a ring in a moment, but the NBA season is started with the promise that there will be a finals and a championship will be won by some team. So yeah.
Not in the NBA right
yeah,
now.
I agree with that.
The game has changed. I think in the 90s and the 2000s, the best players was in the league.
Yeah.
Nowadays, in the 2020s, that is not the case.
Talent will always be the great filter of the NBA. It decides who gets a chance and who doesn't. But fit and cohesion are more important now than ever before. So I don't think the NBA is too talented. Teams have just shifted their priorities, and talent alone is no longer enough to make it in the league. But I can appreciate this take, and let me know what you think. Share your hot takes in the comments below.
Man, shit, y'all got any hot takes? Let me know down in the comments down below. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe. We try to get to 1,000 subscribers. Man, this was a good little Jxmyhighroller video, man. But I'm gonna catch y'all next one. We out.